I don't think I've ever really felt that what I did was important until very recently. Only because the amount, again, of cognitive dissonance and the amount of sheer disinformation and propaganda, well, I'll just go ahead and call it what it is, because a lot of what's going on out there, for lack of a better term, a lot of what's going on in the Patriot movement, a lot of what's going on with the Alex Jones show is, for lack of a better term, folks, it is trauma-based mind control. Now, generally we think of trauma-based mind control as events like 9/11, where, the sheer shock and the sheer, menacing power of these events can scare people into giving up everything, giving up all of their rights, all of their well-being, all of their perceived security. And believe me, I don't care who you are, you, me, every person on this rock called Earth, all of us, every single one of us lives under the illusion of perceived security, don't we? I mean, really. Are any of us ever really safe from anything? I mean, you could get struck by lightning tomorrow. David Rockefeller could get struck by lightning tomorrow. Barack Obama could be struck by lightning tomorrow. Benjamin Netanyahu could, slip getting out of the bathtub and crack his head open. One of the Rothschilds could choke on their filet mignon. I mean, what I'm saying is, aren't we all really living under the guise of perceived security? I mean, what do people think? Oh, well, as long as we have the government keeping us safe from Al-Qaeda, and they're doing their job and doing everything they can, regardless of how many freedoms we have to give up to keep us safe from Al-Qaeda, then I can sleep well at night? I don't understand that. And so you in the Patriot movement, you have even more trauma-based mind control, because you have people who are being traumatized and hammered over the head, by a screaming baboon about how the end is nya, over and over and over again, and fear-mongered into the floor, and people just become traumatized into believing that the sky is falling, as Chicken Little often likes to tell us. And so, that's why it's so important right now that that there are other voices out there, and it's just amazing to me how scared people are of any sort of contrary information that doesn't get put out by people like Alex Jones and the mainstream intelligentsia of the truth community. I mean, so much hate. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in all my life. One piece of information that you say that is contrary to something that they believe or they heard on the Alex Jones show, and they call you every name under the sun. Fed, spook, infiltrator, COINTELPRO, with absolutely zero proof, with absolutely nothing to back it up. Because they don't give a goddamn about information. They don't give a goddamn about the truth. They don't give a goddamn whether you live or die or what happened to this planet or our species or anything else. They could give a fuck less. You understand? They care about status and money and power and their own personal well-being in this illusionary material world where none of that matters when you're 6 feet under. And, I think it's all going to backfire eventually. I really do. They've exposed themselves in a large way to the point where, people are even seeing through the bullshit artists of the alleged truth movement. I mean, people are finally starting to see through that in many ways because of the things they've done to expose themselves. I still can't believe that people would give any sort of credibility with Alex Jones after to me, the biggest thing ever was that whole Charlie Sheen Obama thing where I remember watching the video before it happened where he said, this is.
Folks, it's Monday, September 7th, 2009, and I'm taping this special message because a lot of people are on the edge of their seat. In the last few days, I've been telling you we have a huge announcement, a huge story, a huge guest coming up on Tuesday, September 8th, 2009. If you're on the edge of your seat, imagine how I'm on the edge of my seat knowing what I know. The information you're going to witness tomorrow took a lot of courage and a lot of time, and it's revolutionary. It's going to be a big national news story. There's no doubt in that. But if people get involved, if people realize the revolutionary information and the revolutionary development and get involved, we may take this country and this world back.
You can forget it. I mean, even everything else on top of it, but that alone to me is the big one. I mean, that just is, I don't know how anybody could have any credibility. I mean, if I got up here and told you that I had a 30-minute interview with Henry Kissinger, and got up here and read you a transcript and then turned around 2 or 3 days later and said, oh, I'm just kidding, by the way, that was just something I made up as, fictional, what if I, interviewed Kissinger or something like that. Do you think that, I mean, I can't even imagine. I'd probably be stoned to death. Considering the things that people say about me for things that I report that are true. I mean, my God, you should see some of the venom that's directed towards me for things I say that are provable. Much less if I pulled a stunt like Alex Jones did and told everybody that, here we had this interview with Charlie Sheen and Barack Obama and then turned around 2 days later and told everyone it was a fake. I mean, my God. I mean, that to me, I mean, I don't give a damn how good much information the guy put out or did or has put out or does put out or anything else. You pulled a con on a lot of well-meaning good people that believed you, and a lot of people repeated that as being true. You damaged the credibility not only of yourself, but a lot of other people out there who took your word at face value, Mr. Jones. That's the whole thing that, to me, is more than anything. You can be a lying sack of shit, and you can be a conniving, money-grubbing, bottom boat owning, John Birch Society Jesuit puppet all you want. That's your business. Go. Hey, it's a free country still. If that's what you got to do to put food on the table for you and your wife and your 4 kids, go on and get it, brother. But you know what? When you start dragging the names of researchers and people who have put their lives on the line for this because they trusted you and took you at your word, you take them for a ride and get them posting fake stories for a couple of days before you admit it. See, that right there is where it's game over. I mean, you